This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Greetings, mortals, and welcome. Please present your tickets for validation. Thank you. Your existence has been acknowledged, and you have been granted access every Thursday and Friday. You will be accompanying your guides, Krista and Brandy, along with a world-renowned guest. They will be exploring an intriguing tendril of what humans refer to as reality each week, as they strive to advance you further down the path to the truths of your physical earth and what lies on the other side. Remember to please keep your hands and feet in the vehicle at all times, and do not exit until the craft has come to a complete stop.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Happy Thursday. First Thursday of the new year.
Yeah, how did we start saying that? Like, happy Thursday, happy Friday.
I don't know. It's just,
I don't know either.
It's just happy.
Yeah, there you
We're
go.
putting out good intentions. Good intentions,
Good
happy.
juju. Good juju.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we'll first start off by saying that Chris and I have some bad news. Unfortunately, due to the weather that is coming into the Missouri area, we are going to be unable to make it to Greg Ogle's premiere on Saturday. Krista is looking at over a foot of snow, and I'm looking at up to 3 inches of ice. So that's a no-go for us, everybody, and we are just sick and mad about it. Out of all the time that it needed to happen, it couldn't last it, waited a week. No, it had to happen right now.
Yeah, the one time we get a snow apocalypse, it's the weekend we have something to do.
Right. Well, maybe, just maybe, once this is over, then the rest of the winter will be mild. I mean, maybe this is going to come in, do its thing, get over with, and then we'll be good. I'm hoping.
I hope so. Because our next event is in March, and that's Texas. So
in March.
Yes. And that could go either way that way too.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I know. That's so sad. It's so sad. I mean, I am considered living in the South.
Right.
Excuse me, people. We should be having, winter storms.
Right. Exactly.
But it happens.
It happens. So it just sucks because I was really looking forward to it. Brandy was too. And, we just, Anyway, I hated to message Greg and let him know that we wouldn't be there, but I know, and it just kept getting worse and worse. The weather, I'm like, man, there is no way,
Yeah, and I already had my spinning a night bag ready.
I know, right? Well, yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. I'm telling you. And the thing is like, we were going to be leaving in the morning, and we can get there. We have no problems getting there. It's getting home. And my issue was getting back to Brandy's house and then driving 3 hours north through all of that. So in the dark, I didn't want to do that. So anyway, and you know what? My car will go through it.
Well, the first forecast were saying that it was going to be like Sunday evening when this was going to come in, and we're thinking, we kept watching. Now they're calling for possibly late Saturday night that this is all
Mhm.
going to start. So this
Yeah.
is just terrible.
It is. It sucks. So
Thank you,
anyway,
Tennessee Ridge Runner.
yes, thank you, Tennessee Ridge Runner. So we thought better against it, and so yeah, we're good. We're not going, unfortunately. However, I am anyway going to watch it Saturday nights after the shows. So it will be on Greg's Patreon.
There you go. There you go. So make sure, if you're not going either, well, that's where you can catch it.
Yep.
I think all that information is on his Facebook page. You can go there and sign up for his Patreon and check it out.
Yep, absolutely. So anyway, we have a fun show planned tonight. We have one more thing we got to talk about. What do we always talk about? People are getting sick of it.
I know. I mean, we just put out that first thing when we came on. Here it is, everybody. Remember the 19th and 20th in Richmond, Missouri. That is September of 2025. Crossing Realms Conference will be happening. And stay tuned. We have more surprises coming. It's going to be fantastic. You can go, Mr. Gary Spikes has posted the link at the top of the chats. If not, you can go to Eventbrite and look under Crossing Realms or Blondes and Booze, and it should come up, and you can find all the information there. We have vendor spots still available, so you can check that out also if you're interested, and we're just really excited.
Yes. And, as far as being a vendor, we don't care if you are in the paranormal thing, have that kind of stuff to sell, or if you sell Tupperware. We don't care. Come on.
Yeah, bring on Avon.
We don't care. We like it. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that the conference will be September 19th and 20th in Richmond, Missouri. And yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah. The address is at the bottom of the screen. It's at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. There it is, right there.
There it is. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest up.
Absolutely. Our favorite reoccurring guest.
Yes.
Sir Bryan Bowden. There he is.
I was just thinking, all you got to do is buy a whole bunch of crap on Temu and just sell it there.
True story.
Yeah, seriously. We have, like flip flops and whatever else,
Oh yeah.
All at
Temu
Temu.
is cheap. The only reason why I don't support them is because I heard they use children, like labor law.
I think China's made by children. There's a meme of a Chinese kid crying, holding a toy and it says, "This is the same one I just built." They
definitely have a different culture, when it comes to children.
Yeah, it's a different culture and it's a different way of looking.
Yeah, absolutely.
We consider people human beings and we treat them as human beings, and it's a little bit less than that.
Right.
Not all of them, but thank you for the welcomes in the chat. And
well, we appreciate you for coming on.
I appreciate for being asked. I always I love you ladies. So I'm here.
We love you too, and you are absolutely one of our favorites. And so, I
appreciate that.
Yeah,
at least somebody likes me.
Got two of us that like you.
That's right. There's two. Hey,
I know, and I appreciate both of you very much.
Same.
And I'm sorry, Tex's face was covered by your little corner picture, but sorry, Tex.
Sorry.
No, it happens. It's all good. We're all good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great conference.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the conference.
So am I.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to remind everybody out there, just a quick little shout out. Thank you for coming in and watching us tonight. If you have not subscribed to us, could you please do that now? That really helps us out, and hit that like button and that notification bell. That really goes a long way.
Yeah, I see this too often. Too many people, you'll have 300 people in chat and there'll be 58 of those thumbs up. I'm like, hit the thumbs up. Go to the chat, say hi, get out of the chat, hit the thumbs up, because all those algorithms help the ladies out.
Absolutely.
Right. Plus, you can hit that little heart, right at the bottom of chat too. You can hit that little heart you can do all that stuff too.
Yeah.
And you can send what do they call? What are those things with you can money or whatever. I don't know. I haven't,
The
we haven't-
super chats.
Super
The super
chats.
chats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see all the little hearts coming.
Right. Well, like now it's showing. Okay, so I just looked it up and it's showing on my screen that there's 49 people in chat. However, at this moment right now, we actually have 102 people watching. Go
Right.
figure.
That's the point, right?
Yeah, that's the point. Like you were
I
making.
mean, how lazy can people be? No offense. We all do it. Like, just go in there and just remember, just hit that thumbs up button.
Yeah.
Because it does add every time you have an interaction with the stream, it helps their algorithm and it raises it higher. So that means they become like the premier source for advertising, and then they make something and they bring you more, people, and they give you special things like when BMR is going to give away a Ford F-150 at the end of the week. He's going to kill me. Rob is going to kill me at this point.
I need to get in on that if that's the case.
So-
Right, me too. Hey, I'm the co-host, man. I think I need it.
Maybe we can convince Tex to also include an F-150 Raptor.
There you go.
That's one of the trucks I want. I saw a smaller version of it. I don't know if it's the Bronco. It's like a mini Raptor. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very cool. Very cool. I was thinking, I told you this backstage, a good show topic for tonight. And I was thinking, we're friends on Facebook. And so I see all of your posts and I'm like, man, you really predict some cool shit. So like 2025 predictions.
I'm fine with that. I'm going to give you what I've seen. I didn't do a deep dive in this because, I have kids and their friends came over to the house for, whatever. So I did nothing but cook on, barbecue on New Year's. So I did a deep dive because I was asked by another show. And I normally do this. I normally do in August. I'll give you, I look in a remote viewing capacity and whatever else was given to me or download was 0 to 18 months. And I didn't do it this year because it's been, okay, raise your hands in chat if this year has sucked for a lot of people. It's been tough. And the tail end, it's not going to get easier, by the way. I'm warning you. It's not going to get easier for a while, but it will get better. So I didn't do it, but I did do a quick view on it, and I got some information so I can
Awesome.
go away. I can tell you right now, or where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to start. I also kind of Googled some, different predictions to see, like Nostradamus predicted a couple things, and just to see your take on some of this stuff too.
Yeah, I love Nostradamus. I don't love the people that take 15 quatrains and kind of cram them into one.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot going on here. Prior to Christmas, here's some of the things I see. I see the current president coming into office, Trump, and it's not going to be an easy one. He was a president previously of peace. He's a strong guy, but and he did not start any conflicts under his watch for 4 years. Amazing considering what has taken place. Now, let me explain something. Everybody, please forgive me. I'm not trying to be political or on one side or the other. I'm giving you what I'm seeing.
Right.
Okay? I got to do certain things say certain things in a roundabout way because I don't want them to get a strike or have a problem with the show.
Right.
So please forgive me. It's done purposely, so I don't want to, anything bad to happen. But I did see him coming in, but I got a feeling he is not going to last his entire presidency.
Oh, wow.
Because, no, I do not see him completing his full term. But what I did see J.D. Vance taking an oath of office, and it wasn't for the vice presidency.
Wow.
So, that upset me because we really need him, and I support him wholeheartedly, and I apologize. I'm not holding back. I'm just telling you what I see, and I on some of this stuff, I pray I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's the initial. I'm going to go actually in and really take a deeper dive in this, but I believe the man has put the right people in right position right now to
Mhm.
carry out what needs to be done to
Mhm.
make this country. You want to? I'm gonna use the colloquium, great again, America great again, but in fact make the world great again in
Right.
other countries. And there are pretty strong individuals that I feel are pretty trustworthy in there. One of them happened to be JD Vance, who I didn't know much about, but I get a totally good vibe about him.
Mhm.
Man can handle himself big time.
Yeah.
So I've seen that. I also have seen, I'm going to talk about Elon Musk. Not a big fan of that man. There
Mhm.
is something about him that I do not like. I don't know about
I've
everybody
heard
else.
I've heard people claim that he could be like reptilian, actually.
I've seen a couple of videos of him where he was like robotic, or
Mhm.
it was just odd. Now, granted,
Mm.
I mean, who hasn't been like it was millionaires back in the day when I was growing up. Now it's billionaires. And most of these people have a lot of money, have the weirdest fetishes and habits, and they're very strange individuals. So,
Yeah.
or eccentric is the word. Oh, he's very eccentric, which means you're crazy, you know.
Right.
But I do, and I don't trust him as much, but I do feel that he is going to get a lot more in the politics zone
Mhm.
for multiple reasons with him. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Do you see him being a president one day? I'm not saying the next term or anything, but in the future.
No, he can't. He's not an American citizen.
I didn't know that. I thought he
He's
was.
not a naturalized citizen. Actually, he is the most successful African American business on the planet, well, in the
Huh.
country, because
Yeah.
he's from Africa or South
I
Africa,
did not know that.
or as they say, South Africa. Like with their little German tint.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess what disturbs me the most about him is because I had seen a clip of an interview he'd done where he said that AI is going to be basically the downfall of humanity.
yeah.
But look what he's doing. Look what he's backing up. Look what he's sponsoring. Look what he's, producing.
Right.
It's a lot of AI. So I'm like, well, if you think that, then why are you still doing it? Why aren't you
See,
putting your efforts into something else?
Well, I mean, again, artificial intelligence, not a big
Yeah.
fan of, and we're gonna have. Kimber said he's 63 crayons short of a box of Crayolas. I just love. Sorry, I saw that. It's like that's awesome, and you're right. So here's the problem, right? AI, artificial intelligence, is black or white. Okay, and
Mhm.
everybody thinks it's great, but the problem is, intelligence is not black or white. It's black, white, and gray, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of gray in that area. And because it doesn't have the gray,
Mhm.
it's dangerous.
Mhm.
And if you've seen the movie 2001 Space Odyssey with HAL, which was IBM
Mhm.
computer, where Dave's trying to get out, he wants to get in the airlock, and like Dave, HAL opened the pod bay doors, and HAL comes, I can't do that, Dave, because HAL has a directive not to do it because of X, Y, and Z circumstances. Go see the
Mhm.
movie. The problem is there was a current conflict in the middle of the East, and one country let their AI determine targets. So they put in information about supposed enemies or whatever, and the computer AI started sending missiles in. The problem with that is that even though they got the data that, person X is in this town, there's also 150,000 other people in the town.
Mhm.
But the computer doesn't care. It's
Right.
tasked to see. This is where the gray comes in.
Mhm.
This is when you get, I hate when they use it, but the 3 a.m. call, and you've got to make a judgment as the president. We have the world's biggest terrorist here, and we could take him out, but we're going to be killing 50,000 people.
Right.
But maybe we're saving 1 million lives. Sometimes you have to make these tough calls, and yeah, it can be really on that line. So that's the problem with AI. And you're right about it. I don't like AI.
Mhm. I don't either.
I mean, the stories coming out, AI, has been asked questions, and they've literally have degraded human beings. You guys are idiots and monkeys. They're advancing. I forgot. I don't know. I think it was Meta, or whatever, Facebook, and they had two separate AIs that they put together. So the AIs started talking to each other, and then the AI started creating a language between each other, and then the AIs literally created several different languages, and they were saying it was getting way too out of control, and they unplugged them because they started doing some scary stuff. That's the problem with AI. And it's also programmed by human beings, and we're not perfect.
No.
I mean, everybody thinks they are, but you know, they're not perfect, and you're only as good as your input. So it's like data. I worked with data for decades. Whatever you know, if you have good data going in, you're going to get good data or results coming out. If a human being is programming something, and we fail at certain things, it's missing certain components, that's pretty scary to put it in your car. I mean, you guys have like a car with the sensors on it, so if you go over the yellow line, it beeps.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have it in the car, and what's really annoying is if you've ever been on a construction road, they detour you a little bit, so the car starts beeping, or if you ever have to brake hard because the idiot in front of you is doing something stupid and you brake hard, that gets recorded in the black box.
Yeah.
Now what they do is I have a Korean car, Hyundai. And they have an app for it. And, I have an app. Everybody has an app for something. I want an app to shut off my kids sometimes. But what they do is, they don't tell you this initially, but when you sign up for it and you think it's the coolest thing, that app is collecting your information, and then other companies are buying it. Insurance companies. Okay? I know people in the insurance industry, right? So all they see is you had 3 hard breaks, within a certain time period. Then they go back to their actuaries and they adjust why you're braking hard. You must be doing something wrong. You're speeding. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
They know about your speeding. They know about lane changes that you're making. Beep beep beep. And then your insurance goes up. Why did it go up? Because you allowed them to compare your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's a problem with AI. Because they're not there. They're not seeing that the road was constructed, so they moved this over the highway, and there are some extra lines there. So now your car is beep 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 beep. It's picking up, or it's not picking up the right things. I did tell you the last time I think I was on here. The cool part of those little sensors for parking is they do work well to capture spirits. I've had them several times.
We did talk about that. Yes, we did. We did. You
It's
know what though? So here, this is funny that you mentioned that, because just like last week, like my insurance went up. Thank you.
There you go. See?
But my insurance actually went up. So I was calling around looking for other car insurance. And the one wanted me to put something in my cars. I'm like, oh no. And then they're like, it'd be that much cheaper. I'm like, no. I ended up staying with who I'm with, but it's stupid. I think it's an age thing that my rates raised, just because we don't have accidents. We don't have tickets. We don't,
I just had this conversation. One of my good friends is in the insurance industry, and they're the one determines who gets paid and who's not on the, like, no, yes, whatever. So whenever my insurance comes up for the house or whatever, I'm like, look at this one, and she tells me, oh, bump this up, get this, whatever. But we're just talking about it. Her mother, who's been with the Good Hands people, I won't, that's Allstate, by the way.
Yeah.
She never, like for a long time, didn't ever have a speeding ticket or an infraction or whatever.
Yeah.
And then one time, and it was a little bit of like someone hit them and they dropped her.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
There's this is the problem. There's no loyalty. You think my family had the same insurance for home and property and cars for if you total it up like 130 years.
Yeah.
Right. And at one point years ago, my brother had an accident and they dropped me. I'm like, why are you dropping me? Like, I didn't do anything.
Right.
So, yeah, you just have to kind of keep adjusting and do what you got to do. But I would never plug anything. And actually, they even told me don't plug anything in.
No, I won't do it. And I was like, no, I don't think so. You know,
No.
I'm not putting anything in my car or anything like that. But it was just really frustrating. And when you said that, I was like, man, I was just asked that about last week. And I like,
that's an AI thing, though, right? Because so you plug it in, and come on, no one sits there and goes exactly 45 miles an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one does it. Oh, thanks, Diane. No one does that. You know, I mean, I live in Florida, okay? And Route 95, it's a suggestion. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a suggestion. I actually stopped. I mean, like I was coming into Palm Beach County late at night, and I gotta be honest, doing about 87 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no one on the road. 4 lanes coming in. You know, I'm late. I'm tired. I want to get to the hotel. Go, and I'm doing 87, and some guy went right past me. Had to be doing 120.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen this so many times, and I have a couple of friends that are Florida Highway Patrol. I go, can I ask you guys something? Do you actually do anything? They laugh. Because yeah, sometimes we do, but you know, it's just it's really weird. I've seen accidents upon accidents in Florida, like stuff out of Chips. Do you remember the Chips episode?
Oh, I remember.
I was driving in the car, someone flicks a pebble, and the next thing you know, there's
right.
Yeah. So AI is a problem, and Elon Musk is correct about it. But
going back to what you were saying about that our car's cameras can pick up possible, spirit activity and things like that. That just gave me a great idea. Now my vehicle, when you hit that in reverse, now it sets up what it sees behind you, but it also sets up where it can see above the car and everything around it.
I have that too. I look for it.
So if anybody has that in your car and you have a cryptid experience, flick your car in reverse real quick and then take a look. See if you can see it, please. I haven't seen any footage on this yet, but I would love to. I would love to see this.
I do this all the time. I mean, every time I go, and I have the same thing where they give you the bird's eye view. And a couple of times, like I've had that where I'm driving and I'm on the road. I'm going like underneath a bridge to get on the highway, do like a a clove or whatever it is. And this thing's going off really going off. One time recently it broke the car. Like we have this thing. It's like if you're getting too close or you're going too fast, collision avoidance, beep, 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 not nowhere near him. But I've had that too, actually recently on this one roadway. And it just so happens that I know not that long ago there was an accident with a death.
Wow.
And it popped up. So, it's always good to have that.
Right.
Cameras, do you ladies carry any old cell phones with cameras in your collection?
I do. I have a couple old phones actually in the drawer.
Charge them up and take them with you on investigations. The old cameras are picking up things more so than the new cameras. Yeah, like really good stuff.
Wow.
It's not going to be the best resolution. It's going to be lower resolution, but they're capturing more spirits and specters than ever before. And I think it's because of they're not utilizing the 4K HD, whatever. They're not using the computers. It's more of a camera. So, and everybody could do that.
Wow.
It's always good to keep, if you have old phones, keep them charged, keep them in your car too, because 911 will always work on them just in case you have a problem. It's a little safety tips there. But with Elon Musk, I mean, do you really want to put a chip in your head?
No.
I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to be hooked up to this system.
I also don't want a scan bar on my body.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just had another conversation. There's a lot of really cool things if the world was a perfect place. But most of these advances in technology are going to be used for nefarious things. Like everybody that did the DNA swipe, 23andMe and whatever the heck it was.
Mm-hmm.
Guess
Mhm.
what? All that
Mhm.
DNA, what they gave you back is like this much of
Mhm.
what they got from you. And they were selling your data to insurance companies, health insurance companies, other companies,
Yeah.
and they could clone you. They can insurance companies is buying it so that they know who it's from. They see that you're susceptible to cancer A, B, and C. And now when you go in there for insurance, they raise your rate because they know that if down the line there's a possibility you're going to have cancer.
Mhm.
So, it's really great to know that you're 15% Native American and 27% Eskimo and whatever else. But I'm just throwing that out there. But
Right.
you're giving away a lot of information and you need to start keeping it close to the vest on certain
Sure.
things.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the future of AI,
Mhm.
and that's part of one of the things I was going to talk about. So we can segue right into it. More and more people are going to be creeped out by it. It's going to do more and more creepy things.
Yeah.
And we're going to, to the point where people are just like, nah, they're going to start rebelling against all
Yeah.
that AI, the chat GBT and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because it's going to be listening in on everything, and people are going to have a negative effect from it. People may
Absolutely.
get visited by people in the future, like law enforcement, for things that they didn't do,
Mhm.
of overheard conversations. How many times have we been on the phone or whatever? Your spouse pisses you off. I haven't done it, but I know one of my friends like, oh, I'm gonna effing kill her. Well, that's a threat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. And that's the way we're going here, Big Brother.
Yeah.
I have some of that stuff. Pardon the expression, it's a little bit vague, vulgar. I have these little round things. I call them the Google nipple because they look like nipples. And I spend it all over my house because I even go out to the outside on the
Mhm.
patio. Although down here they call it a lanai, so you have to pay more money for it. It's patio. So you can get internet, and I shut them all off, and it always tells you when you touch it, the mic's off. Yeah, I know the mic's off,
Mhm.
asshole. I'm not putting it on. I
Right.
don't want you to, hey Google or hey whatever. So that's part of the AI thing.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't trust Elon Musk as far as you can throw him. I don't
No.
know about
Not
him.
at all. And you know what? Somebody in chat here said something, and I'm guilty because I actually have one. Denise says they say the Alexa app listens in. So I have an Alexa, and I honestly, it's sitting right here in my kitchen. I use it every day.
Yep.
I watch my YouTube shows while I'm cooking. Or I listen to music. I use
It
that.
can be
thing
convenient, but
every day.
part of what you're signing up for is
Mhm.
them giving your voice ID, barometrics, and all this other stuff to Amazon, to
Mhm.
that creepy guy that runs it and owns it,
Yeah.
Bezos. And what are they doing with it? Oh,
Right.
we're going to try to make it better for you. No, they're seeing what you do with it and Brandy does with it, and this guy and this, and
Mhm.
and they're trying to figure out ways to manipulate you.
Yeah.
TVs listen to you. TVs have cameras in them too. They watch you.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful about that. So it gets a little bit weary.
Yeah.
Technology is interesting, but I'm not sacrificing my own personal privacy
Mhm.
just because I can say, hey, Alexa, what time is it in Tokyo or whatever I need to do.
Yeah. I use it. Like I said, I use it, like baking cookies or something. I set the timer, I use it all the time. My kid uses it when it's time to go out to the bus every morning,
I have the iPhone. So I said, whatever, I forgot it is, Siri or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Said set a time. I just used today. I'm cooking hamburgers for everybody. I'm like, set a time for 4 minutes. And it's really when I put headphones in, it's like, you just got a notification from X and they start a long like stop reading, messages.
Mm-hmm.
So usually it's supposed to shut it off. It doesn't shut it off. Another notification. I'm like, shut the thing off. I'm cursing at it. And this one gets a little, you don't have to curse. Like,
yeah.
my mother.
So between our phones and like the the artificial intelligence and all of that good stuff, man. We're just they're the big brother is watching us for sure.
Yeah, I have artificial intelligence in the house. I have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old.
There you go.
Here
There
you
you go.
They think, I mean, my youngest thinks she knows everything.
Oh yeah. Hey, I do have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how's the new puppy?
Oh, he's freaking awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's great. He's really, really great.
Very cute. I seen your video.
He's just, yeah. I mean, sorry about that. My youngest has the mouth of a sailor.
It doesn't bother me. Believe me.
No, I know.
Do
But,
not get
you know,
it anyway.
we picked up a Australian Labradoodle, and not. I mean, I wanted another bull terrier, but when you see these things, it's like, oh my god,
It's so cute.
like a gund, you know, a stuffed animal, but it's real and it licks you, and
Yep.
he's great. I mean, they went nuts. He's really, really cool. That we're gonna get into that, but he's been seeing things. He's still a puppy. He's about 17 weeks old. He's been seeing things, and it's getting him nervous. It's something. Things are catching your eye. And one of the things I was going to lead to in the prediction is, we're going to see and start. I mean, everybody's going to start seeing more thinness of the veil, if you want to call it. They're going to start seeing gnomes, fairies, the fae, elementals, shadow beings, interdimensional beings, especially interdimensional beings. They're going to make their presence known. And some of the interdimensional or darker beings are very, very dangerous.
Wow.
Because what has happened in the last year and a half, people have woken up to the truth.
Absolutely.
And that's another reason why the current election went the way it is, because people are not believing the propaganda that was, you know, everything's fine, the economy's fine, and you're paying, you know, for a box of donuts and a half gallon of milk, $17. No, everything's not fine. People are now questioning, they're waking up. So like I said, in life is yin yang. With a lot of evil, there's a little good. With a lot of good, the little evil. People, the good is starting to wake up, and evil is now in the corner and knows their time is almost up.
Absolutely.
So these beings are now making their presence known, and now they're going after animals. Something I was telling Brandy and Krista before it came on. I've got to be vague because I don't want to reveal, but I have a friend who has property, and he got woken up a week ago, almost a week ago. And what happened was he heard his pigs on his property going crazy and squealing, like there was something that was really weird. And he also heard that the pump was making a weird sound, that the pump was pumping water from a certain line into the pig pen. Okay. So he gets up, and I don't know the exact time in the morning, but he gets up out of bed. He goes outside, and his pigs were in a death spiral. That's a death circle. And they're following around and around each other. They're scared out of their mind. When animals were doing this about a year plus ago, ants started doing it. Sheep started working in circles. A lot of weird stuff started happening. And there's a lot of portals being opened up at the same time. Yeah. So, Kimber, I'll get to your question 1 second.
I started. There's a couple I started.
Yeah, no problem. So, so he comes out. He sees his pigs acting really, really funny and squealing like something's wrong. The pump it was cut in a spot where it shouldn't have been cut. There's nothing there to cut it, and it was weird. And then he said a fog came in, and it was leaving a little bit of a black residue, and there were light orbs in it. Now, if you want to know how to pick me up at a bar, tell me these stories, and I'm like, yeah, you got my interest. So on top of that, after he told me, a day later, he sent me a picture. No, I think it was the same day. When he got back home to his property, there was a dead rat on the property. I said, was that there before? No. He goes, this just happened. But the rat, like it's been decomposed for a few days.
Oh, wow.
And he's not a believer. So he's like, oh, my dog's probably got to it. I'm like, keep your dogs away from it. There's a lot going on with this fog, and people may be experiencing it. And it's not weather related, okay? Because if you have, like in the winter, if you know those, well, you guys are getting like, Snowmageddon soon.
Right.
So, right. You'll get Snowmageddon. It'll be like negative temperature. And then 2 days later, freak of nature, it's like 78 degrees, snow's melting, and now there's a fog in there. You got the warm front and the culprit. This is how fog comes in, right?
Right.
This isn't the same fog. There is a weird fog that's hitting throughout the country. I've been paying attention to this for a while, but I have yet to see fog in Florida, but the person I'm talking about with the pigs, he lives not that far from me. I have not noticed strange fog. I said, did it have a weird smell? He wasn't paying attention. He goes, no, I don't think so. There may have been a black residue. That's weird. And other times I've had cases where there was a fog and black residue. There was always something that was like black-eyed kids, the black-eyed kids, shadow figures, and something interdimensional. And I personally believe that all of those, the shadow figures, the Hat Man, and black-eyed kids, I think it's more evil. And they're taking this opportunity to come in. And now what they're doing is they're preying on animals. So I did predict from this, when I got this information, there's going to be a lot more animal mutilations around the country being reported.
Wow.
Down the line. But once I find out more information about what's going on in that case,
Definitely.
I will let you guys, you ladies know, and everybody else there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There,
Don't breathe the fog. Try not. I mean, if you get the fog in your area, I'm going to be honest. Cover your face. Get inside. There's something. People are getting sick from this. And I will send something to Brandy and Krista. I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV. I'm just going to tell you, go talk to your doctors. But there's all this stuff can be bought pretty much at any pharmacy or vitamin shop. Quercetin 500 milligrams, vitamin D 20,000 IUs, especially if you're above the Mason-Dixon line, or if you're in colder climates. Vitamin B complete, zinc 100 milligrams, and you could throw in 7,000 to 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And whenever you get a cold or you're feeling sick or whatever, take all of it. I would double it up. I'll take it in the morning and at night. And if you have something that begins with a C, I guarantee you it'll be done in 48 hours. And everything I mentioned doesn't have any side effects, and kids can even take it. I give it to my children. Yeah. So they hate the vitamin B because it always stinks. Vitamin B smells really, really bad, but it works. And they're
vitamin B. I don't take vitamin B. That's one I don't take.
Vitamin B complete. And that's like, it has like,
write this down.
There's seven. I'm gonna text it to you. There's several types of vitamin B, and try to get the ones, because one of the problems with vitamin B is some of the vitamin B is sourced from a derivative of cyanide.
Yeah.
And there is natural vitamin B. Well, look at this way. If you ate Adam's, you're eating an apple and you eat a couple of pits, there's arsenic in the pits. That's why we had the arsenic problem with apple juice not that long ago. They recalled apple juice for arsenic because the pits must have gotten in. Yes, vitamin B complex. You can do that too. Vitamin B does not taste good either. Kimber, 100% agree with you. One of my fondest memories of my father's mother, and she was into all this stuff. Her father was a pharmacist. As soon as you walked in their house, it smelled like a vitamin B bottle. It was not a pleasant.
So don't it just come in pill form? You just swallow it and don't have to taste it?
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a heavy smell to it.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know what. Yeah, trust me, you'll know the smell. It smells. I want to say like old people. But I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah, it's. Well, I associated with my grandmother, and she was older. No, it doesn't taste good. Another thing you can do is, I mean, there are liquid forms of it. I think Mary Ruth has a liquid form of it. You can do that. Oh, this is very important about the fog and something else that's going around. I'm not going to mention it. You guys need to start consuming virgin coconut. Now, virgin coconut, yes, it's coconut oil. You know, the thick ones with eat it. I mean, cook your food in it and eat it as much as possible because it's a natural remedy to something that's currently being flashed on the news and people getting scared.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to mention what it is, but virgin coconut, and it's better for you than any seed oils anyhow. Trust me,
I buy it because the girls there, the younger girl, I buy it for her hair. She's mixed and has the curly hair. So like we keep
you
coconut
put it
oil
in the hair. Here's
time.
another thing. Take a teaspoon of it, okay? And you can tell your kids to do it. It's called oil pulling. You know, the thick ones. But take a teaspoon, put it in your mouth, and swish it around your mouth, and then spit it out. Don't swallow it, and it pulls out all the bacteria. It'll kill all your bacteria. It'll help whiten your teeth. Yeah, it's good it's good for body oil. You know, it's really, really good, and it stops certain things, and we'll just say it that way.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, coconut oil in the hair is really good too. Yep. Oil pulling for teeth. Yep, that's right, Riley. It's really, really good, and the more you use it, the more your body is going to get the important nutrients of it, and it's good. I got to be honest, it tastes better if you like. I make asparagus for the kids. I like asparagus, but I think it's a little bit weird. And I just put some coconut oil in, a lot of garlic, a little paprika, and salt, pepper, and you make it with that. It's fantastic. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help.
No, we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah. So that's going to come around, and part of, as far as predictions, they're going to try to do the lockdown again.
Well, one of the things I did star, without getting too technical where we don't get in trouble here, I'm curious about this too. Keith says some people are already saying there's going to be another bad sickness coming month's end.
Yeah. There's an H in it, and an N in it, and a 1 in it, and a number in it. And they're going to try to do that.
Yeah.
That's what coconut oil, the virgin coconut's for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you said you're going to send that all to us, right?
All I'm saying is you can always ask your doctors, but or you can do your own research. I like when people hear something and they question it and they go, holy crap, he was right. Do your research. They don't want you to know certain things. A lot of things that are so good for you to help you out in life happen to be with supplements, vitamins. We don't take enough of them. And if you saw what I take every morning, everybody's like, what the hell do you take? I mean, selenium, biotin, I mean, tons of lysine, tons of stuff. If you're having issues, it's after the holidays, people, and you have to, you want to lose some weight and whatever. There's certain things vitamin wise you can have, like lysine, L-lysine. You can take that, and it helps to get rid of your fat, and it's gonna make you feel better. When you take vitamin in the wintertime, everybody gets bluesy because the sun goes away, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I noticed this because there's this portion of my family, they're always like, I don't want to say anxiety, but it was always like, they worry. And I'm like, I got it. And I'm like, what am I worrying? Am I mimicking that? But I started taking heavy dose because I lived in New York, 20,000 milligrams of vitamin D, 20,000 IUs. Sorry about it. It's different unit of vitamin D. And I took vitamin B.
Wow.
Nothing bothered me anymore. Not a thing. You're going to feel like $1 million. It really does take away the blues and L-lysine is fever blisters too. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a let me tell you something. You should just get somebody on. I know it's about booze and blunts and booze, but there's certain things here that will help you stay healthier. And that's important also when you go on these investigations. You don't want to go into a haunted house or a potential investigation and you're like suffering from the flu. I beg you not to go.
Absolutely.
Because you're gonna be taking a hitchhiker home with you, and then it could get really bad.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. So moon chocolate cures everything. Yeah, chocolate is good for you too.
They say dark chocolate really is good for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. I'm
not a candy eater or like a big sweets eater, so
I like white chocolate. I'm a little bit like that. I have these. So I like the cinnamon ones, and one of my brothers is responsible for it being in the country. So, but I don't get a discount for it, but I like those because cinnamon's also, not only does it taste good, but cinnamon is good for bringing prosperity to you.
Really?
Yes. So
load up on the cinnamon.
If you ever see those mesh bags, the little mesh bags with like the lace, the little ties on it.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of you ladies have it. It comes with a lot of products. Take the cinnamon stick it in there, hang it over your front door, put it in your car in the rearview mirror, and it's supposed to bring money your way, and it's a good thing to have. Okay. So little tips on that. But
it doesn't hurt to try.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. Other things that I've seen, I see a major earthquake on the West Coast, specifically near Alaska, that is so big that it's going to change the geography of Alaska. I saw a stream cutting through on the western side of the state, like literally a new like a river opening up. And from that, there will be big time tsunami warnings for the West Coast, both West and the Pacific. I also saw other earth-changing events. It was really weird. I saw the earth undulating, like it was breathing, going up and down.
The earthquakes.
Yeah, a lot more earthquakes in the area.
So we're way overdue for an earthquake here. We're actually closer to Brandy than me, but it's the New Madrid fault line.
Yes. That's I actually, that's something I didn't predict for 2025, but I did see that having a tremendous earthquake. And the last time that happened was I want to say 1887. There was a big earthquake in 1800s, and the Mississippi reversed its flow for 3 hours.
Sure did.
And it was felt all around the country. I mean, both ends of it.
Yeah.
That I saw in a remote view, but this is in the future, probably close future, but I couldn't give you an exact date, and I can go look for it up there. And I saw an opening from the Great Lakes all the way down, like the country was cut almost in half. Yeah, it's going to be big. No, I don't see anything in Maine, by the way, right now. You can't get there from here. So.
Well, they said that, if the New Madrid one hits, that both Memphis and St. Louis will be devastated.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of people injured, die, and gone, because it's going to open up. You don't understand how big it's going to open up. Question? Yes, ma'am.
I'm just going to be gone. I just want to say that to everybody.
Close to the fault line. She really is.
If it erupts, I'm gone, and I love you all. I'll be haunting you soon.
You know what? You've been doing this long enough that I think you're going to get your spidey senses kicked in, and you're going to go, we have to go.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. There are people, like my friend, he doesn't believe in any of the hocus pocus mumbo jumbo, but it's real. It's legit. I have to be very careful because the other half, she doesn't believe it. And my youngest daughter was intuitive. She's like, oh man, is she gifted? Yeah. And I told her the other day, like, because they went on like this 3-week break from school. Like, who has a 3-week break from school? You
Right.
know, I mean, like, and what are you supposed to
I
do for
never
3 weeks?
did.
Yeah. So I told her, I said, I'm a human lie detector. And she's
Mhm.
like, oh, you're not. And I said, yes. And I explained to her, like, when we have a conversation and I'm talking to somebody and they're telling me a story or something, when it's true, I see it play out in my mind's eye. This is how I operate. And then if you get somebody that's telling you something and I see nothing but black, I know that never happened. But when you're hanging out with some of your friends, sometimes people tell stories and they want to feel included. So I'm like, it's a little bit more forgiving. I'm not one of those like, that's bullshit, that whatever. I'll let them have those moments. But I do use that always. It always happens.
Right.
Especially I have 2 daughters. So I have to, those are the only 2 people I read, them and their friends. I read all the time. I pick it up immediately because until they're like 45.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah. So she said, prove it. And she had me tell her about, I can see things in the future. And I told her about every one of her friends and who they are, what their personality and this and that. And you can see her face go like,
oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely don't want your parents seeing the true friends, right?
No, but it was good. And my other half's like, oh, well, he's probably just saying that. And she went, no, Mom, everything he said is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
a little way of telling them like, yeah, I know when you're naughty and nice. So
exactly.
I'll find out. But
so you
yeah,
can never get away with anything.
Yeah. I don't see anything in Maine, by the way. Someone asked for Maine. I don't technically see in Maine.
Somebody also, I think Tennessee Bridge Runner asked about anything, we were talking about the New Madrid fault line, anything close to Kansas City, Missouri.
Not, hold on one second. I'm trying to get my map and then I'm looking and remember what I saw. Not really. But again, an event this size is going to rock hundreds of miles, if not thousands of miles away from you. So everybody's going to feel a little bit of something. Now, here's the problem with Maine. I forgot who said it about, you see anything with Maine? New England is under, you're not going to like this, a super volcano.
Oh, wow.
Okay? There is a super volcano under the state of under New England. And actually, New England has risen a couple of inches in the last 7 years or something like that.
Wow.
There's also something interesting going under the Great Lakes. Because if you go to Michigan and where Michigan Rob is and some of the other areas surrounding them, they are finding basalt and some other byproducts of volcanic or seismic activity on the surface. It comes up on the shores every once in a while. So there is something actively going on there, and that could contribute to the New Madrid. I know that in the end, there's a big map. It's called the someone did it for the military, and a lot of the countries, it's totally different. I know where I live in Florida will be underwater. So I just want to find out around the date so I can we're selling it cheap. Come on.
Yeah. So it sounds like we all need to move to like the mountains where we're up elevated and
kind of,
although Yellowstone's pretty jacked up, they've got, things ready to go off there too.
They always have Yellowstone ready to go. I don't see anything right now for 2025 or the close future just yet. But that could be because other areas are absorbing some of that energy. Again, I saw the undulating of the earth, usually in the lower half, almost like on the equator. Like it was really weird. It was like the earth was moving up and down, but it went all the way around the map. So I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna say earth changes in 2025.
Well, that totally makes sense because when I was looking into some of this, let me find it here. Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. Let me read here. So that something about the major planets, like they're all in line for the first time in many, many years. Like
January 25th.
that definitely has something to do with this, I think.
Yeah, well, alignments are important. Well, we'll get into something else so on January 25th, every one of the planets do the whole thing. My very educated mother, Venus, all the way up are going to be in a straight alignment. And that is a lot of energy compounding on each of the planets,
Yeah.
I mean, it gets increased dramatically, the gravitational pulls. Now, something I did see was there are going to be events of asteroids or meteorites in our solar system that are going to get extremely close. We are going to witness an event. Everybody will be able to see it if you're outside at the time, and I can't tell you what time it is because I don't know, but it's sometimes in 2025. You will see a meteor or an asteroid hit the moon. You will actually see it hit it. And there are going to be such large rocks or near Earth objects that fly in between or so close, you're going to see it go over. It's going to be massive. We're in a weird portion of the orbit. And I think things have happened in space that have set some other things off. So look out for that. The plus side is, here's where it gets good. If you see a comet or meteor coming in and it lands on your property, you better let it cool off. That's worth a fortune. Okay.
Wow.
And there was a guy that had a car. This is the greatest. I'm like a meteorite hound. You can find him at the beach all the time. Use a magnet. There was a guy who had an old car. I think it was like a Buick, like a crappy Buick from the 70s, maybe worth $200. And a meteorite came in, it went through his mailbox and went into the car and landed in the trunk. That's where it ended up. The guy sold the car for over $2 million.
Oh my gosh.
And everything, the mailbox was sold for like $100,000. You have to understand that is a 1 in a quadrillion, that something from outer space came in and now you have it in your car. That's why it's important. Meteorites, if you buy meteorites or asteroids, meteorites, or comets, they are measured by the gram, and some of them are hundreds of dollars per gram out there. I mean, it's really, really expensive.
Well,
there's also, there's trying to figure out, oh Jesus, the green glass, and I can never get it. It's
moldavite.
That's it. Moldavite, which comes from a specific area. I have some. I used to keep it in my pocket, but I took it out of my pocket. Very powerful stuff. Keep it away from you physically. Don't keep it on you too long. Moldavite is known to trigger heart-related problems.
Wow.
If you have it too much. But it's really, it's expensive as all God hell, right?
Wow.
I mean, I bought a piece of moldavite. Yeah. I mean, like we're talking like something, smaller than this, and you're paying $85-$90 for it if it's a good piece. It's no joke.
That is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Do you have any of that, Brandy? I know you've got all kinds of rocks.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that rich. But our friend Terry Mosby has a few pieces of moldavite that are absolutely exquisite. They're just beautiful looking. Because it is olive green, like it has that olive green hue to it. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I mean, people are like, well, that's kind of an ugly stone. Well, you got to sit and look at it. You got to get some light into it, look at it. It's beautiful.
Very, very powerful stone protection and luck and fortune. It's beautiful.
It also causes heart issues.
Too much of it, but it can. There's something about it that causes problem with the heart.
Wow. Yeah, for long-term long-term wear, and that's if it
Right.
touches your skin. Now,
Right.
and they say that if you wear it in a ring or a setting that is off your skin, that doesn't touch your skin, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're
It's
gonna
just
be
if
okay.
it's
I'm not
straight on
saying
your skin.
not to have it, but I used to have a piece of it, and I did have a heart issue at one point.
Well, I was just thinking, it reminds me, have you seen the commercials with medicine? It has all the side effects, like, okay, so this sickness won't kill you, but the side effects
Yeah.
will. So
Yeah.
I just
Right.
yeah, I went to because of insurance and whatever. My doctor I wanted to go to, he was in the health plan, but not in my plan. I hate that crap. Like if you have Cigna, well, we're in Cigna Rose, but not in the blue or the gold. I'm like,
Mhm.
if you take Cigna, you should just take Cigna. Like I'm just, or
Right.
whatever it is you have. So I went to
Mhm.
a nurse practitioner, and she asked me, my other half goes to her, and she was really great. I mean, like real
Mhm.
refreshing to find someone in medicine that knows their stuff, is older, and not looking at a computer. They're talking to you and diagnosing. And she said, well, what do you think about all the weight loss stuff, the drugs? And I said, oh, you mean like Wegovy and whatever it is? I said, no, I'm good. I don't do biologics. And I said,
Mhm.
I don't like the venom that they use in them,
Mhm.
and there's too many problems with it, and no thank you.
And you know what? I do take the shot, and
No, they work.
I take trizepatide is what I take,
Right.
and it's like a off brand of Monjaro,
Yep,
the
it's
Zepbound Monjaro. But I agree with you. Like the side effects suck. Like
Well-
there's days that I'm sick after I do my shot.
you I mean, there are bad side effects like
Mhm.
a paralyzed stomach. That means
Yeah.
your stomach's paralyzed. It
Mhm.
depends. I unfortunately, if all those side effects on there, I'm going to get them. And I found out later in life, I don't do the flu shot.
Mhm.
Hell no. And they're like, would you like your
I don't
pneumonia?
either.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want that either.
Mhm.
I don't do that. So, but do what's good for you. They
Mhm.
are coming out with something. This is where it's really good. They're coming out with a pill version.
I heard that.
There's something about the injectables I don't like.
Mhm.
But they're coming out with a pill version because one of the off brand uses for one of them is it stops and it corrects sleep apnea.
Mhm. Oh
So
wow.
no more
Yeah.
like Darth Vader mask.
Yeah. I have to tell you though, the one thing that I have noticed with taking this medicine is that like I had like starting to get arthritis. Like I could feel it like when the rain was
Oh, it's
coming.
great for that.
Sucked. But I don't
Yeah.
have it anymore. Like I can run.
Yeah.
I haven't run in 10 years, but like I feel great. Like in
Oh
that
yeah.
respect. Yeah,
A
it's
lot of those medications for diabetes and weight loss
yeah.
have other benefits.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, another thing. Um, People are going to hate me for this, but it's true. You're going to see the use of nicotine as a treatment for a lot of new diseases by the end of 2025.
So in what way for nicotine? Smoking it?
No, I mean it could. Well, people, it's still whatever your lungs are your lungs, but in patches, in pill forms, believe it or not, a lot of the vegetables you eat have nicotine in it.
Wow.
Nightshade vegetables have it. Celery has it. Peppers have it.
Interesting.
And it's, even though the powers that be say nicotine's bad for you, they're wrong. There's a lot of benefits to it.
Now I quit smoking in February because
Okay.
of all the hype. And I've smoked for many, many years and was actually a heavy smoker. And I quit. But now you're telling me it's good for me, man.
Well, you're
I
getting
enjoy
nicotine.
smoking.
Do you eat green and red peppers or peppers?
Yeah.
There's nicotine in your peppers. It's a natural part
Yeah.
of it. I mean,
Yeah.
anything in excess is bad, except money. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Anything in excess is bad. But yeah, you're going to see the use of that in a lot of things.
Interesting.
You're going to see another thing. I didn't get into it on the full predictions, but RFK, it's going to be a battle to get him in. But once he gets in, things are going to change for the better for everybody.
Oh wow.
And we're going to see new treatments for things. more herbal, more natural, that are going to be helping to cure diseases and other things that have plagued us for hundreds of years. And we're going to get, it's going to, Kimber just said, I use nicotine now to keep from going to prison. I'm with you on that. I'm so with you on that.
Right?
I'm a smoker. I got to stop, but I did a what is acupuncture in the ear, and it worked great for 2 days. And by the third day, give me a cigarette. I was,
the thing is like, it's seriously, I'm around people all the time who smoke. And from day one, when I quit, it never has bothered me to be around people who smoke. But it was a mental thing for me. Like I changed it in my head, my way of thinking. And that's why I quit. And it helped me, but that doesn't mean it helps everybody. So I don't knock anybody for smoking, because I did it for many, many years.
I've quit for a bunch of years, and then
me too. I've tried quitting, couldn't do it. It just, but honest to God, it really doesn't bother me to be around people who are smoking at all. I've been around a lot of people, who smoke.
I don't really care. Once you quit, what happens is you start smelling better, and you're like, oh my God, this stinks. Like this, and you start smelling the after effects of it.
See, I got one though, because I can't smell. I can't smell a thing. I had a horse accident 25 years ago, and I lost my sense of smell. So I can't smell anything.
That's not that bad of,
Nothing. No.
Come in handy on certain things.
Right.
Especially with kids around and babies.
Especially with a 200-pound English Mastiff dog that I have. It comes in handy real good. Let me tell you.
Oh my God, yes. My brother has one. And those folds do smell a bit. But so you're going to see a lot of new treatments for things.
Wow,
and
that's interesting.
It's really interesting how we're the only country that allows genetically modified products or bioengineered, because people got paid, and that's going to change. And when that changes, it's going to create new industry, and it's going to create new jobs, and people are going to be happier and healthier, and you'll be like, wow, this really, it's going to change everybody for the better. It's going to be a good part.
I hope so. So. Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question though. If we can touch on it without getting into any red flags, but it's the things that have been up in the sky. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. 99% of what was up in the sky. Initially it was black budget military top secret type of objects.
Things.
We have hundreds of different types of prones. I'll say prones out there, and they do different things, and they're depending on the size is also what payload they take. So some of them will take multiple missiles. Some take high energized lasers or that type of stuff. And some do different functions. Some are transport, all that stuff. A lot of that, the stuff about them being sniffers, and a sniffer is something that goes out, smells for particles in the air for radioactive material, a biological, chemical. They have those. Actually, if you're almost every airport, is it? I think it's like 5 miles, 3 miles, 1 mile, every so many distances from so many different directions. The government puts out sniffers to see what's coming in. Yeah, and they can smell it. So there was. Well, we've seen what happened in the last 48 hours, and I didn't really want to get into. I don't want to upset people or scare them. It's going to get a lot worse. There are individuals all throughout the country, and it's not like they have a specific target like NYC, like Twin Towers. That's their target. Right. It's everywhere. I mean, and it's going to happen simultaneously. I'm begging people, don't think because you live in a small town or whatever, oh, they don't, what are they going to do here? They are
True
doing
story.
this. Yeah. And it's going to get bad. It's going to
Well,
get really bad.
you know, the little birds that are flying in the sky. So true story. About a week ago, I had dinner with my cousin, and my other cousin's husband actually saw one of those birds flying above their house, and they're rural, small town, and it was leaking something, he said.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah. They've been talk about them.
And that's small town Missouri, you know,
dropping, dripping, spraying,
Mhm.
leaving, not only on the land, but in reservoirs or what bodies of water.
Yeah.
And notice how it starts in one area. So New Jersey and I think it was Texas for the most part. And then they expanded, all these other areas started getting it. Now, a lot of people were being not nice people and taking part in flying drones and whatever, and
Right.
you know, whatever they're get their rocks off for. But a lot of it was, you know, that's what I'm saying. 99% of it is explainable.
Yeah.
Be it they won't tell you, the military, when the government says we don't know what they are, but it's okay, you don't have to worry about it. They know what they know what it is. And you probably do have to worry about it because you don't know what they're dropping, spraying, or surveilling or whatever. But there are in the little birdies that have been up there, there are other craft that are not ours or anybody else's on this planet.
Wow.
And I think they are very perplexed, like what the heck's going on here? They're you know that's I think they're curious. They're already curious and they're over bases. The place where they were in New Jersey, I know exactly why they were there. It's the Picatinny Arsenal. That's where they play with some really strange stuff, big boom booms. And so they're always curious. But when people, I know someone that flew a drone up to it, their own drone, and went over towards something, and they lost control of their drone because the object that was there, not of this earth, took control of it and started pulling it in. They lost power, and then eventually they hit the retrieve command, and it went down to got retrieved.
Yeah. Wow.
But they're also testing some other stuff. Holographic stuff. You're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Holograms.
Wow.
1890. And let me tell you, these holograms are so good. They can put one in front of your face and you can touch it and you will. They have a way of manipulating the field around the hologram with audio and sound and vibration and frequency where it will feel like it's cold. And the lighting will feel like it's cool or hot or slippery. And it's all a hologram.
Wow.
And I was concerned because there's something called Project Bluebeam. And that was a fake alien invasion, right? By the powers that be, with holograms and like an attack on human, Earth. And what they were really doing is they're putting up these holograms, but they're using conventional weapons to attack people on the planets on Earth, make a simulation, abduct people, like the Rapture,
Right.
And then they were going to do a hologram which would have gotten every nation together, like in Independence Day. Let's fight together.
Right. Right.
Then they would have a kind of like a Messiah event, Second Coming, and you would see it, and they would look real. Everything would interact with it. And then it's an NWO type of ploy. We're all in tunics and worshiping a head of lettuce or whatever it is.
Wow.
So I really didn't think they could do that because I thought the public was a little bit sharper than that. But after seeing the reaction of people over the last couple of months with what's the birdies in the sky,
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Yeah, really is.
Yes.
It really is. That's
Yeah.
crazy. While we are at kind of a little break here,
Sure.
everybody who is actually watching the show but hasn't commented or liked it, if you would go in and hit that thumbs up. We have 260 people actually watching the show right now. And yeah, so we would definitely appreciate it if you guys would hit the thumbs up.
Hit the thumbs up.
I'm gonna throw some hearts out there. Da, 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 da. Everybody at home can see them. There they go.
That's
Oh, little.
funny.
There we go.
I just saw it because I was going to talk about it anyway. Keith from 1675.
Yeah.
I have a vellum from 1675 actually.
Wow.
Portuguese vellum I purchased. I like the historical aspect of it. He's talking about a black swan event. I do believe we're going to have a financial problem initially because the current people and whoever's responsible have been lying to everybody about what's really taking place. So we're going to have a stock. The market's going to start to crash.
Mhm.
It has to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to be told the truth. We'll get a foundation again, and it'll start coming up. I also see that the stock, the silver market is going to be manipulated. There's a group of people, I don't know exactly who. They're going to try to crash the market so they can totally capture the market, and they're going to artificially pump it and dump it, and it's going to get so low that people are going to buy, sell out of it,
Right.
and then they're going to pick it up, and they're going to try to corner the market, and they're going to get caught.
Wow.
Right, but in the end, something that, again, I'm not a big crypto guy, although I really dread the fact I didn't buy Bitcoin when I was offered 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I regret it now with 2020 vision, but at the time it's like, I'm going to give you a real money and you're going to give me an imaginary thing.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. So some of the other coins that are out there, if you want to make some money, there are a couple of other cryptocurrencies
Mm-hmm.
that are out there, and they're going to start going up. And the reason why is because the way they benchmark that currency, it's actually to real assets. So, and it's also being supported. And someone put one of them in there. XRP is, I will tell you right now, the goodbye. I'm not a financial advisor,
Right.
a licensed broker. Always ask them first. But I did see XRP. What was it? Stella, Luna, and a couple of them, making some moves. Quaint, LCX. I had them written down. XRP. It for very little money, and some of these are like 0.000005642. I mean, you're going to get a lot. You don't really need to go crazy. If you have $20, throw it in there. You're going to be like, wow, that was the best thing I ever did. But it's going to be a struggle because we have to. I see it as scales. It has to start to balance. And it's not being balanced, and we're over leveraged. And I mean, I know these things from financial stuff that I used to do. Just stand your ground, hold on, it will get better. Okay. Yeah. So don't worry too much about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's just there's a lot of changes coming this year, it sounds like, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a weird year for a lot of people. Something that took place, I don't know if we talked about it, but on the 19th of November, it was the end of a 15-year cycle for all of the signs, but especially the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. I mean, that was like, if you were an Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, that was like, stop, go, stop, go, stop. I mean, like, it was just miserable for 15 years for a lot of people. I was one of them. I'm a Cancer. And I have a couple of, I have Aries or Libra or both in other aspects of my chart. This is the change. This is your moment. And if you're an Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, the world is going to become your oyster. And I'm telling you, seize the day. Do not sit there, and nothing happens when, if you go to a psychic and they tell you, oh, you're going to hit the lottery, and you're like, cool, and you don't do anything. Guess what? You're not hitting the lottery.
Right.
Because the future's fluid. You actually have to go about your daily life, go to that stupid job you don't like or whatever, buy the ticket, buy your beer, go home, buy your cigarette. And then that's when it happens. Okay. But this is your time. If it's going to be good for almost all zodiac signs, but it's going to be better for the cardinals. They're really going to start rocking it. I mean, I can't wait, because I got to be honest. There's been many times I'm like, I give up. I'm done. I give up. And I always say, and I've said this to several other people, it's tough, but tomorrow's another day, and you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And don't be the one that, just give up and walk away when, that lottery ticket falls in your lap, but you went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be good for people, but hold on to your hats.
I am super excited about that, because and when you're talking about that 15-year span, and I started thinking back, and I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, because it hasn't been the best last 15 years, I have to say.
No.
So
I mean,
I'm looking forward to this.
But I'm telling you, silver eventually will come back, and it's going to outperform gold. It's gonna skyrocket. It's gonna go to almost 100 a share. It's really gonna bounce back. The reason for it, I saw it in chat. There's a lot more uses of silver in a lot of products than there is for gold.
Oh wow!
It's also less expensive. So I think for Tennessee Ridge, Trump's son is going to play a big part. I think that's where Elon comes in, because of computers. And I still think they have information about what really went down in the last 4 years. And even if they pardon people, leopards don't change their spots. And these people are still going to do something stupid. And then, bam, we got you.
Absolutely.
So whatever. But the last 15 years have sucked. I'll be honest. They have.
They have. Absolutely.
Like, you'll have a moment and it's really great, and then someone will come in and piss on your cornflakes. No, seriously. I mean, it's really, really weird how it works. But it's going to get better. And you got to think positive, be positive. As I tell my kids, change your attitude, change your life.
That's right.
Right? It's not half, the glass isn't half empty. I mean, half full. It's whatever, half empty, or whatever the reverse is.
Half full,
not half empty.
Right.
When life gives you lemons, just throw them at people.
Right.
I
do have a shirt that says that. When life gives you lemons, at people.
Yeah. 2024 was a challenging year for both Brandy and myself, and I going into 2025. I have good feelings about this year.
I all in all, I have a good feeling. I would like to tell everybody, if you live in a place and you have a concealed carry in the state, I would advise you to carry right now. There's a lot going on. It's going to get worse. Just to protect yourself and be very aware. Situational awareness is very important, but that's going to be over. It's going to be like initially in the beginning, That's going to end, and things are going to get better.
Yeah.
People aren't going to be taking the BS anymore. Like,
Mhm.
no, I'm not sucking that up. No, I'm not paying for that. No.
Right.
Things are going to change,
Right.
including, oh, we're all going to love this. I do see them changing the rules for credit cards,
Oh,
where they can't, they're limited in what they can charge you percentage wise.
well, my thing too is
I hope
you
I'm
go
right.
to a lot more stores or restaurants and they don't take cash. I have
Don't-
issues with that.
Then don't patronize them.
Right. Exactly.
I'm just going to tell you straight up. The bad people want you to go digital
Mm-hmm.
because the
Mhm.
bad people can turn your digital on or off. The
Yep.
bad people want you to go electric because they can shut you on or off. Okay?
Yeah.
Trust me, you want good old hard greenbacks or pound notes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there, what happened during I'm not going to mention it, but
Yeah.
right? People weren't allowed to do anything if they didn't have a certain card. Well, the people that didn't have those cards started their own little commerce, and
Yeah.
they were taking money. So,
Mhm.
F you want to have the money in your pocket. You
Yeah.
don't need an electronic form of currency to have the government know everything about what you're doing. There's
Right.
no reason. There's going to be different rules in place too down the line. Why do they need to know what you spend over $600?
Yeah. Well, my thing is
Exactly.
too, like,
Yeah.
so my daughter sang down at a St. Louis Cardinals baseball game, and we were down there at Busch Stadium. And my thing is being down there, I took cash with me. I took a couple $100. I figured, if I lose it, whatever, I don't lose my card. You know what I mean? That's a bigger deal.
Right.
So we got down there and they don't take cash. My son literally had to buy everything and I had to Venmo him cash.
I had the same thing happen. I'm a New York Ranger fan. They have the worst this year. So yeah, you can kill me later. But someone in my community was selling 2 tickets for the Panthers Rangers. Now I originally wanted to buy those tickets because I knew everybody was off. They wanted $380 a ticket. No thanks.
Mhm.
I don't, $380, I'm not spending on a ticket.
Right.
So I got them for like whatever, $80 each, season tickets. If I was any higher up, I'd be talking to God. And it's like, it's one of those stadiums where it's like, it's not, the angle is not like this. It's like, it's
Mhm.
like you make the wrong move. You're looking for the Sherpa. Can I go? You can go, Mr. B. Go.
Right.
Everything was, no one took cash.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's how it was down there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, And so I literally, my son and his wife had to pay for everything, and I had to Venmo them money.
Well,
It's just.
I understand why some of them do that because people used to play the piano or the till. So you give them money and they pocket it and they give you the change. And it looks like they're putting it in, but it's not. So the businesses are losing. But because most stadiums are now owned by a bank company, they want to know how much money they paid billions of dollars for that stadium. They want to get their money back. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been fun.
Thank you.
I enjoyed this, and I appreciate you coming on. I do want to thank Tennessee Ridge Runner. Thank you very much. Aaron, thank you. Diane, thank you. T2E, thank you very much. Diane, appreciate it. Kelly, I'm glad you're a new member. Thank you, Tex. And Keith, thank you very much. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. And definitely not expected, but it is appreciated. So anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And thanks. I also wanted to say thanks for everybody with the hearts and the smiley faces. And I was having fun poking the button with everyone else because you just seen a million hearts going across. So thank you so much.
And I am showing 291 now actually watching the show. So if all of you would go hit that thumbs up, throw us some hearts.
And
it's awesome.
Subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because I think that's going to be one of our resolutions for 2025. We're going to we're gonna grow our channel, and only you can help us.
Yep, absolutely. So we definitely appreciate each and every one of you. We've got the conference coming up, and get your tickets for that. And Brandy, do we have anything else? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, I do have something to
No,
announce.
I don't think we do.
No, I do have something to announce. Usually on Thursday nights after our show is Monica. Monica is under the weather tonight, so she is not going to be doing the show.
Right.
However, Tex and Paranormal Paul will be on Texas Front Porch when we get over. So probably, another 20 minutes or so they'll be going on. But it'd be on.
I think I saw that. I have my notification bell on, so it just told me just a minute ago that they were coming on at 10 o'clock. So,
well, you get the same text that I do. You didn't see it via text, the text messages?
No, it came across my screen.
That's funny. Well, we appreciate everybody, and Brian, we for sure appreciate you. And we'll be in touch. I told you we got that meeting coming up, so we'll be in touch.
Yeah, just tell them I want to be part of it. And
yep, absolutely. It sounds like a plan.
All right. All right.
Good night, everybody. We'll see everybody here tomorrow night.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Good night.
Goodbye, everybody.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.